Hey, this is Dan from Two Dudes. Just doing a quick tutorial on how to add some elastic to your Wolverine gauntlets. The elastic will kind of help keep the magnetic backplate in place. Depending on the size of the gauntlet, I use like different size magnets. So sometimes, like the standard is 8 millimeter by 2 millimeter magnets. If I size them up, sometimes I can still use those 8 millimeters, but sometimes I need to go 9. If I size them smaller, usually the eights won't fit, so I have to put 7 millimeters. It kind of really depends on like how much force is kind of snapping in. So this one kind of snaps in pretty well because it's a smaller size. If you have one of the bigger sizes or your arm is bigger, you might kind of push it off a little bit. It's not sticking too well. So this is kind of the remedy for that. I do the same technique on my helmets. It kind of just like aligns everything and gives an extra protection for the the fit and making sure the magnets kind of snap together. So what I need for supplies, I buy a kind of roll of this elastic strip. You can see it's pretty stretchy. It looks like about 1 inch wide. It comes in a roll. You really don't need a whole lot of it. The next thing is some glue. I'm using like a CA glue from Magic Chems. I used to use like AK 705. Pretty much they're all the same. CA is the type of glue, cyano something or other. I'm also using an activator, so this helps the glue bonds like almost instantly, so like within like 5 seconds. It's not totally necessary, but due to the volume of me making masks and gauntlets and all kinds of stuff, it kind of really helps cut the time down for bonding. So what I'll do first is, kind of look inside. You'll see that, I don't know if you can see too well in the video, but, there are where the plate is connecting. And the whole idea here is you're going to lay the strip across the gauntlet and then across the plate. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this strip and I'm going to cut it into, I don't really measure these too much, but they're about 3 inch, maybe 2.5 inch strips. Oh, I'm not doing it on camera. So, there we go. So it's about like 2.5 inch, 3 inch strips. Depending on how far the gap you need to close is. So I'm going to make 2 of these. So I'm just going to use the first one for a template so I don't have to measure the next one. Make another one. And then I'll make a 4th. So for the helmets, I always use 4. For the gauntlets, might not be necessary. 3 might work really well, because I'll show you why. All right. So basically, we're trying to put one here, and then the other side is going to be glued to the inside of the gauntlet. So it's going to be a little bit hard to see on the video, but what I'll do is, I'm going to take the glue and I'm going to put kind of maybe like 3/4 of an inch wide section of glue. And then that was on one side. So, sorry, one end. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other end. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's like glue on one end and there's glue on the other end. In the middle, there's no glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it inside, and if you don't have the activator, you would just like put it right inside. With the activator, I'm just going to spray the inside kind of not very precisely because it doesn't really matter. It's only really going to bond the glue. And then this is going to be really hard to see, but I'm just trying to lay it from, it fell out the bottom, lay it from one side to the other. So it's going to be really hard to see. But it's basically probably going to bond already. So now if we open it up, it didn't bond already. So we're going to hold it a little longer. My 5 seconds might have been optimistic. Okay, I would think it should be bonded by now. So what you're seeing is like you're bonding one side. You could kind of like glue it like this with one side off a little bit, and then do the other side closed. That works too. But the whole idea is that like this thing like is going to be together when the magnets are on, and then you can stretch it and it'll kind of close. So that's kind of the way this works. What I'd recommend is to do again on the other side. So we're going to do the same technique. We're going to glue the one end, glue the other end, and the whole middle is going to be unglued. There still might be some activator that I kind of sprayed all over the place, but I'm going to hit it again. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and again it fell out. And I don't think I did a great job of where this is going to bond, but I'm just going to hold the two sides. One thing you just don't want to do is get like glue where the magnets are, because then you kind of glue it shut and then you can't get your arm in. All right, so that's pretty good. I didn't do as good of a job on this one, but you can see like what will happen is you're kind of, there's the magnets, so they're in. So that is a way you can do it. Now getting it on might be a little bit more difficult this way. You can like put your hand in, this size is going to be way too small for me, but put your arm in here. Put your arm in this way, and put your arm in this way, and then this thing will come in behind. The one thing you probably can't do is like use too many strips, now that I'm thinking about it more. So like if you do a lot of strips, this thing might not open far enough. One other alternative, if you wanted to try first, is basically just do this top section here with I know it's hard to see on the video, it's not focusing, but just do the top section with a strip. So then it would kind of come off like that. But this seems to work pretty well. You can kind of see it just like really snaps in, really holds well. I'm trying to think if there's any other ways we can do this, but that's kind of what I've been doing. You could, if you wanted to, and you wanted to, like if your arms are especially a certain size or a little big, you can cut these strips a little longer, and kind of leave like, so the shorter they are, the obviously like you don't have much room to stretch, but the longer they are, they'll have like more room to stretch. So if you have like a bigger arm, you can kind of make the strips a little bit longer, give the elastic more room to stretch. So I hope this helps. Putting on the gauntlet. So that's kind of where we are right now. So if you have any questions, just hit me up. Dan from Two Dudes, Etsy/2dudes3dgoods, or our email is the same, 2dudes3dgoods@gmail.com. All right, thanks.